Was the craziest interview that well, let me say this. Because you were in the middle of a pre-production meeting with Bill Belichick and about to meet with Tom Brady when you got word that your wife went into labor. So what was the stress level there? Did you leave? Did you tell them that it was happening? Like I can't imagine the emotions in that moment.
Yeah, so little backstory, and it's good timing because we just had the 8-year anniversary of that moment. Hudson Washburn turned 8 on January 22nd,
Oh,
so
wow. Very nice.
we're
Happy birthday.
taping this a day later, and it was an opportunity to revisit that moment with him, and obviously with my wife Kate. So we were out in Denver, and we had actually met, I think, with the Broncos that morning, and we were back at the hotel, and I'm not, where are you coming from right now? Where do you live?
Long Island.
Okay, so you may have gotten a taste of this. There was a massive snowstorm that year,
Yeah.
that day, that week. So that was happening. So my wife was at the grocery store getting kind of supplied up for the snowstorm to hunker down with our dog, and her water broke. And that's when she called me and was like, looks like something's happening here. And so I'm thinking, all right, well, I'm about to leave the hotel to go meet with the Patriots. My dad at that point was living in Baltimore, but not that close. And so Kate was able to actually get an Uber to the hospital. I immediately call my dad en route to meet with the Patriots. And I'm like, hey, Kate's headed to the hospital. Looks like, she's in labor. This is happening. Keep me posted, knowing that Kate wouldn't be able to for the most part. So
Sure.
yeah, we get to the hotel where the Patriots are staying. We're sitting in a conference room, and these AFC Championship and Super Bowl, sometimes some other, the rooms are a little bit bigger. There's more people in production that are there. And again, this is my first time joining this crew with Lance Barrow, legend, Jim Nance, legend, Phil Simms, legend, Tracy, legend. And I'm like, I'm just focused. I've done stuff with Bill, but that's still, that's got its dynamics. And he's wrapping up, and my phone just starts buzzing. But I'm like, I'm not answering this. Like, I can't. So he kind of wraps up, and I'll never forget this. It was when we had Mike Carey with us, and Bill and Mike Carey got into some prolonged conversation about officiating. And it was kind of way in the weeds, but we're all kind of just listening because it is interesting. But I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking, like, my phone's ringing and I got to answer this thing or at least look at it. And so Bill and Mike finally wrap up. And then, so he's getting up to leave. Tom's walking in. I pick my phone up, swipe, and it's a picture of my son. He'd already been born. My dad had been able to either get into the whatever room or they'd send him the picture. So I'm looking at and so talk about, to your point about emotions. At that point, I sort of compartmentalized things, thinking it was like, all right, well, this will happen later. But no, it happened. And so I think, all right, how do I handle this? Again, I didn't want to involve anybody in this. I told no one on the crew because I didn't know him that well. And I'm not the kind of guy who's like, hey, here's what's happening in my life. So I kind of sneak out as Tom's doing like, hey, what's up, everybody? Stuff. I call Kate, and she's able to answer. I'm now thinking about that. Like, how is she able to do that? She answers. I do the, like, love you. How's everybody doing? Like, healthy? She's Hudson healthy? Yeah, we're great. We're great. It's good. All right. Well, Tom's walking in, so I got to go in. And I always say this too. I mean, she's unbelievable. So supportive of this whole crazy lifestyle, but she is from Massachusetts. So I think the fact that it was the Patriots kind of helped the situation. So yeah, I kind of sneak back in to the room as Tom's like just sitting down, getting going with it. And I just kind of acted like nothing was happening. I did tell Tracy because I knew her a little bit. And I was like, I don't really want to make a big thing of this. So I didn't no one knew until after the game Sunday. I remember Jen Sabatel, who kind of came up to me and was like, hey, you can, do you want, I can't remember, but whatever. I ended up telling people after. So yeah, it was wild. It was so memorable. Obviously, I would have loved to have been there. Hudson was 5 weeks early. So I feel like it's kind of, there's somewhat of a built-in excuse there.
Yeah, it's tough to plan for.
Tough to plan for, but it does make for a great story, not just for opportunities like this. But I think for Hudson, I mean, he's a huge sports fan. He loves playing sports. He plays football. Like, maybe one day. I've told the story to Belichick. I don't know if I've told it to Tom. I've told it to the Crafts. Like, they know. So it's like, it's one of those where it's a good it's a good thing that he'll have forever to be able to say, I was born. My dad was with the greatest coach and quarterback of all time.
Yeah, very cool.